fitness. If you can go slow and it can be more like casual and relaxing. But yeah. Yeah, so this is the current chart right now, showing where the planets are. So we have a moon in Gemini. So moon in Gemini makes us chatty. So the moon changes signs every 2.5 days, which is why someone with a moon in Cancer, which is the moon's natural sign, can be someone that's moody. Or Cancer, the sign, can be seen as being moody. Anyone with even a Cancer sun sign, which is like most commonly known in astrology, having a Cancer sun sign, can still be make you like a moody kind of person. So the moon changing signs can be very, very indicative of a Cancer person. So someone with very strong Cancer energy in their chart, their emotions and their feelings and what they're possibly going through, like on a day-to-day basis, based on where the moon is currently in the sky. So the moon's currently halfway through Gemini. You can see here at 17 degrees. So Gemini is a chatty sign. It's all about duality. There's two sides to Gemini. So Gemini energy and a Gemini person, same sort of thing. But the energy of Gemini is someone that usually has like two sides to them. There can be a side that like a lot of people see and a side that's hidden, or they have like a funny side and a serious side, or they have a like real adult-like side and a real childlike side, or all of the above or whatever. But usually there's someone that is able to like be changeable, mutable, and like get on different levels and different people and different things. And they can have a lot of interests and be interested in a lot of different things. And also they can be like interested in learning and talking and chatting and sharing a lot of information and things and learning of like lots of information and things as well. It's ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules the mind. So it's like always thinking and overthinking. And it can be a sign of like anxiety when you do overthink and stuff like that as well. Where the monkey mind comes in. So yeah, we have to be careful of that when the moon is in Mercury, that we don't get into that where we're overthinking our emotions and our feelings and getting into that anxiety about things. And, what else with Gemini and the moon? Just that's the sort of thing with, if you think about moon and Gemini, it's always that overthinking and like over worrying and overstimulation and stuff like that. But it's in regards to our emotions and our feelings. So are we over emotionally stimulated, or are we focused too much on like overthinking the emotions and our minds, like, you know, causing some kind of like mental chaos and stuff like that. But the other side, like I said, is that we can become really like fun and playful and chatty and like we want that emotional stimulation and want to like we're feeling emotionally satisfied by like chatting and talking and learning and speaking and sharing things. So wait, I'm Aquarius. Is it good to have my sign crystal in house? Oh, so Aquarius is, are they like diamonds? Your birth, oh yeah, but is to have my sign in. I really want to bring some peace and serenity in the house. Oh wow, do you know much about feng shui? Because the best thing to do for your home is feng shui if you want to bring peace and serenity in your house. It is honestly the best thing. And the first thing you have to do is declutter. But then after that, you need to. I show you. I heard of it. Oh, okay. You can light sage. Yeah, you can do sage and you can do a cleansing. I just used sage the other day and cleansed my home. You should probably do like cleansing your home probably once a month. I only do it for probably like 3 months. I'm really not onto it enough. But, you know, every time you're going in and out of the home, you're picking up different energies everywhere. And so it's important to cleanse our home because, one, we're bringing in, transferring energies around, but also secondly, energy becomes stagnant and stuck. And by doing sage and moving the energy around, it like gets things flowing and clears things. So yeah. And from a feng shui perspective, that's really good. So have you heard much? Wow, so they stack up like dust. Yeah, pretty much. So have you heard of, so like where we have dark spaces in the house and no light comes in and there's no airflow and stuff like that, from a feng shui perspective, it's really bad, stagnant energy, and it can cause illness and stuff like that for family members, depending on where it is in the home too, based on feng shui. So it can be very powerful. I'll bring up, I actually do feng shui readings, and I think I have it in my points. You're new, so you probably won't be able to afford the points anyway. Some of them are quite expensive. Unless you like have been watching for a little while maybe. But I do feng shui tips, but I'll show you quickly. Let me find on my computer. Bagua, where is it? Here we go. Okay, so now let me just open up it on OBS. Oh, I want an image. New image. Pull it Bagua. Okay. Now that's in my astrology folder. Here we go. Okay. Oh wow, it's come up nicely. Okay, so now you can see here from this. So now there's a lot of like mixed things in astrology, in feng shui, and whether you always set this. So this is your home. So you have to visualize your home, no matter what shape it is, fitting into this square. And you there's not a debate, but there's two sides of it. So you can either work with it in the sense that you always put the front door here where it says main entrance, and that therefore as soon as you walk in your front door, it'll always be the career sector, regardless of whether your house is facing south, north, east, west, whatever. The other side is, and so it means the back left corner of your home will always be your wealth area. Back right corner of your home will always be your relationship area. And this can be applied to rooms as well, not just, can be applied to individual rooms, not just the whole home, but it is based on the whole home as well. So if you want to enhance like the love relationship area of your home, you can focus on that in your bedroom, that corner. So the back right corner of your bedroom, from when you walk in the door, being at the front, you want to enhance that back right corner. So you do things that are like pink, represent pink things and earth things, and represent relationships. So you can think with things that are colored pink there. You can do things that are earthy, like wood things that are earthy, like wood, or maybe some plants or something like that. Or it's like dirt, or something that represents crystals, that represents earth, and crystals. There you go. That's what I would do. So that's what I do. So rose quartz. You can get things like, I'll show you. I mean, I don't know why I'm talking about relationships, but it's just an example. So you can get things like these mandarin lovebirds. I've had many sets of these over the years. I don't know, and I've gifted sets to people too. But they are two little lovebirds, a male and a female. They're different shapes on a little, rose quartz on a little aventurine lily pad, and they are kissing. Yeah, it's very cute. And they you could have something like that in the relationship area of your home or in your bedroom, and that will bring in the energy. You can just have some rose quartz in there. I have rose quartz in my bedroom. The other thing important with your bedroom too, and the relationship area, is always to make sure there's twos of things. So like having 2 pillows, 2 lamps, 2 bedside drawers, having things that represent relationships. So it's like a photo of you and your partner, or a photo of a couple to represent, like, if you wanted to attract that in. But not having things single, because then you're going to be attracting the energy of single energy, and there's no space for someone else. So, they're called love birds, ducks. No, mandarin ducks. Yeah. So, so that's just an example of that. So, like, the health area is usually in the center of the home, regardless now if we're going north. So then the other side, is when we're looking at where the entrance can be. If you are talking about like north and south direction, then black down here, the career, is the north, and the fame up there, red, is the south. So for me, my home faces the south. So I flipped it and I changed my feng shui a couple of, like 2 months ago. I redid my whole house. I moved everything in my house around, all my paintings and pictures, decorate like different crystals and different colors of pillows and different things. And I changed a lot of things around. I bought a few things and I just changed things around to move the energy around the home, to switch it around now. So instead of doing it from the basic where the main entrance is just always there regardless of direction, I'm doing it in and then there's another element to it too after that about southern hemisphere and northern hemisphere. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, then you should be using um it then your front door should be at the fame red area. And then if you're northern hemisphere, then the career main entrance, so that would be your front entrance. So there's that side of it too. But my house does face the south and I'm in the southern hemisphere, so it does suit me to change it and try and change the energy and have it so that my front door is in the purple, the red, and the relationship area. So my front door is in the red, the fame area. So I've changed it and put some big red painting up that was upstairs in a different spot. I've got red blankets and that around on the couch. Then on the couch I've got pink. I've got some pink pillows and pink and everything on my couch now in my relationship area. And then so I've changed up to try and change the energy in my life and see if it makes a difference by switching the directions. So dream catchers are really good, definitely. Yeah. They're ancient American Indian traditional thing that they, used, and there was a reason why, because it was powerful. I don't have one anymore, but I used to years ago. I don't know what happened to them. Yeah, so yeah, it's amazing. I love it. I've got a herbal tea in it. So good. It's a herbal chai, so it's like no milk or anything, but it's like called a sweet chai. It's delicious. So like I said, so focusing, if you like you wanted to improve your health, you'd focus on the center of the home, and you want to put things there that are yellow that represent earth. Again, so we've got earth, we're representing things that are earthy, so yellow crystals. Oh, you said yellow crystals before, that's what you meant? Oh yeah. And other things that represent like balance and vitality and whatever else. So you could have there, like, that could be where you do your yoga and meditation practices, for example, because that's bringing balance and vitality, and it's to do with health and stuff like that, or doing where you do your workouts and you do things to do that you want to improve your health. Or it could be where you eat really healthy food, or something, like you dine and that's what promotes eating really healthy food or something like that. Like, so there's a lot more you can dive into, and like you can even Google it and look up, well, how can I improve the health area of my home, and you can get heaps of ideas, things that represent the earth and things that are yellow and whatever else. So and things that represent balance and vitality, so you could have Libra scales in there, or you could have a balance board or something, like you can get creative, you can like think outside the box or whatever too. Yellow crystal. Oh, yellow crystal. So you could use citrine. You could use carnelian. Carnelian's considered like yellow orangey sort of as well. You could use, what's another yellow crystal? Like looking around, see if I've got anything yellow. The citrine. Yellow gold, I guess pyrite. I've got pyrite there. You could use pyrite. That's another yellow crystal. I'm having a blank. I'm trying to think. All my crystals are mostly upstairs. Oh, hang on. There's some over there on the shelf. Soapstone. I think that's another yellow one. What else is yellow over there? Agate. There's like yellow agates. I think what else. Oh, hang on. What else is yellow? There's something I'm not thinking of. It's like common. Hang on a sec. Most of my crystals are upstairs, but I have a few here. Tiger's eye could be used for yellow. Well, Yeah. Tiger's eye could be used for yellow. Yeah. Yeah, let me just do a quick Google. Yellow crystals. I actually used to have a crystal business and I used to sell crystals at the markets probably 10 years ago. And had a crystal Facebook page and stuff like that, and yeah. List of yellow crystals. This isn't giving me a list at all. Amber. Amber's considered yellow. Amber's a great crystal. It can do a lot of other good things as well. So yeah, amber, that could be a good one. Yellow jasper, there you go, there's another one, yellow jasper. Calcite. Desert rose. Desert rose is sort of yellow. Is that more like orangey? Pink or pink, peachy kind of. Yeah. Hopefully some of those are helpful. A culinary arts, that's just a fancy way to say cooking, isn't it? That's just the chat, not chat, it was being AI coming up with a creative way to say that I cook, basically. If that's what you mean, my description-y thing. Yeah, so that is, some feng shui and how it can help. It can be really powerful because it's, if you look up more information about it, it's just changed. It's all about everything's energy and it's just changing the energy and flow in your home. But decluttering is one of the biggest things, honestly, because you're letting new energy come in, you're clearing out old energy because items hold energy. So anything that's like around your home is holding energy in some way. And when you clear things out, you make space for new things to come in. Oh, chefs made meals inspired by crystals. That's funny. I saw Marie Kondo tips. So cool. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, Marie Kondo tips? Yeah, so that moon in Gemini, if we're talking about mutable energy too, it means it's making a square to Neptune. So over the next 24 hours, be cautious of like your emotions and that overthinking I spoke about, and the mind, the overthinking and the overstimulation and all that stuff. And because we have Neptune in a square, we'll have Neptune in a square, so the moon will eventually get towards the end degrees of Gemini over the next 24 hours, I would say. And then we're going to feel that Neptune square because, sorry, I lost the chart. Where is it? Here? Because we can see the moon will get up here and that Neptune is down here at 27 degrees. Building up towards, getting towards the end of that sign and towards that most intense 29 degrees. And that square is going to make us feel very intense and feel like we're maybe fighting something, or something's like not moving along, or something feels stuck, or it's a struggle. I need to be careful of certain months when the energy is not positive. She helps families declutter their house by moving furniture and things. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I need to certain months. Yeah, definitely depending on your own chart, you definitely should be more careful about certain things. So like you can see down here, we have the sun at 26 degrees right now and Neptune at 27 degrees. And Neptune is it is basically brings illusion and delusion, disillusion. It's represent like losses and stuff like that, or where we lose ourselves. It's the sign of like endings essentially, and like it's where we're not seeing things clearly. And we're talking about it being in Pisces, its home sign, which is all about us being possibly unrealistic about things. When the sun and Neptune are coming together, we're like seeing things with like rose tinted glasses and seeing things as being way better than what they are, or we're being lied to or deceived, or we're lying or deceiving ourselves. We can be self-sabotaging, especially when it comes to like could be to do with like our energy and our vitality, and that can be feeling really drained, and we're going to feel like we need a lot more sleep right now and a lot more rest and retreat and recuperation. And with that Neptune and sun coming together, we have to be careful where we are gentle and compassionate and slow and go with the flow more and be gentle with ourselves, because we don't want to get into states of where we get depressed or we lose ourselves mentally or whatever, and we let the subconscious take over and the conscious mind disappears or whatever. Like the sun is like the conscious self, and then you've also got Neptune, which is like the unconscious in a sense, and it's like in that Pisces energy. So it's like we don't want to lose ourselves essentially. And then we're talking about Pisces and Neptune energy too. We can relate that to the mental stuff and like also healing. So it's like can be a really good opportunity for healing when we're talking about the sun being our vitality, our energy, our happiness in that, and then that Neptune energy helping us to heal, because we're being able to tap into more harmonious energy that's like more compassionate and more loving, and that is from higher realms. Like we're able to channel down energy from higher realms. So that could be God, the universe, it could be your angels, your guides, your higher self, whatever it is. It's like having that connection and building that stronger connection so that we can heal. So we're going to be feeling that over this next few days. Definitely going to be probably feeling more drained. Not as much vitality as what we normally have, because we need to rest and we need to retreat and we need to be gentle with ourselves. And then the other side of it is not losing ourselves and not like not seeing things clearly, and like we're talking about water too. So it's like be careful of like swimming and drowning and stuff like that, but also like drowning ourselves in like alcohol or drugs and stuff like that, or also because we're also self-sabotaging ourselves, and then also like not being careful and stuff, and like and also the mental thing. So like we're talking about Pisces energy too, we can talk about like and Neptune if we're talking about like similar to like 12th house energy. One, we're like super sensitive. It's super sensitive energy, because we're talking about Pisces, we're always talking about feeling super sensitive and like other people's energies feeling like it's too much, and we're taking on other people's energies, and that's why we need to retreat and rest and recuperate, and maybe like retreat away and do things that are to do with water. So we need to probably drink more water at this time. I'm feeling super thirsty, so probably we need to be around water. It can be really calming and healing, or like have baths and stuff like that, or be near the ocean or near water. Make sure we're hydrated and stuff like that. And then also making sure that we don't end up in like hospitals and institutions and things that like imprison us in a sense, or we imprison ourselves or whatever. But we have to make sure that we're taking the time to retreat and to heal. So the sun won't be with Neptune ever again in our lifetime. in Pisces. So this is the last time that the sun is the sun's not going to be there for another year, and Neptune's about to move into Aries. So this will be the last time. Let me just move the chart forward a year. Oh, wait. Wow, in a year we have Neptune at that 29. I wonder if it must retrograde. So we've got it at that 29 degrees and 28 minutes. So it's almost towards the end. I could be lying when I said that. They may friggin' meet again in a year. No, they don't. So you can see this. Oh, wait, they do. Hang on. So because Neptune will retrograde, obviously. So the outer planets retrograde more and for longer. So like Uranus retrogrades twice, every for like 5 months of the year or whatever. Like it's a long time. So the sun's at 29 degrees and Neptune's at 29. So they will in a year, they'll meet again in Neptune, in Pisces. So I lied when I said that. But I'd say after that, it'll be the last time. So it'll happen again next year, but it'll be even more extreme. So yeah. Gosh, that's like scary to think about what that will bring next year for the world, in our personal lives and for the world. Like the sun and Neptune together at 29 degrees, the last degree of Pisces, which is the last sign of the zodiac. It's endings, it's hospitals, institutions, it's loss, it's illness, it's like so many things. So it's can bring up religious stuff and stuff like that too. So there's going to be a lot. The sun is shining a light, illuminating something. So there's going to mental health stuff as well. So all that's going to be illuminated over next year, especially more potently. But we're going to be feeling that now, but more potently next year when it'll be the last time that it meets there. Because the sun is going around the zodiac every year. So it's getting a chance to meet with everything once a year. Everything basically, or everything it does, and nothing's fun, getting ahead of the sun, apart from the moon. If something like a longer, an outer planet that has a longer transit, like Neptune, for example, it's a 12-year transit. 12 years in each sign, sorry. So it's like a 244-year transit cycle or whatever it is. So it will I don't think I ended up doing Singing Bowl either, did I? I was supposed to do Singing Bowl and I was supposed to pick a card and I got distracted. That's okay. Yeah, so yeah, that next year, that's going to be intense. So this isn't the last one. I was incorrect there. Okay, back to where we are now on the chart. Oh, yeah. So do I. It's so beautiful. So nice. This is my favorite one. I love it. I don't have any crystal ones. I have 4 non-crystal ones. I don't know why I don't have any crystal ones. I love them, but yeah, I think because I've bought most of mine in person and I've never come across a crystal one, whereas they're always like on eBay and I've seen them online and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm very funny with crystals and what's real, because you have to be very careful with crystals. And there's so many replicas and things that are fake. There's a lot of fake crystals out there, Chinese stuff. So you do have to be careful when buying where you buy your crystals from. And you can test them too to see if they are real. I feel like when taking a bath and you use Singing Bowl doubles healing. Oh yeah, people used to tell me on stream years ago to put water in it, and we tried putting water in it one day and it just wouldn't make any noise. So I don't know if it was too much water or what it was, but yeah, doing this near water, oh my God, it would change the frequency of the water. So having it like, yeah, near a bath, oh my God, I'm going to do that. What's tonight? Say Saturday. Maybe tomorrow night, depending on if I do cooking stream tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon or whatever. But yeah, otherwise next weekend, so I'm going to do that. That'd be amazing. And with crystals, yeah. Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm going to. Thank you for the tip. That's hilarious. So good. Ooh. Sorry. Hope I didn't kill your ears then. But it is calming until you hit it really hard like that. Okay, so where am I've gone forward a few days. I need to go back, but actually today. There we go. That's a little bit forward, but it's about where, just a little bit forward from where we are now, but around about. Yeah, so we had that Sun Neptune building up. And then obviously the moon will square that too in the next, let me have a look. Let's go forward a day. Yeah, in the next 20 hours, I would say, it starts to really build that intense square. So again, where I said like we have to be careful of our emotions and our feelings not overriding the reality, not letting them get lost and all that, like I said. The moon's in a trine with, will be in a trine with Mars. So we might have some nice opportunities to have some good conversations with people. I guess we're talking about Aquarius people, we're talking about Mars, us taking action, us being driven in a certain way, and the moon being in Gemini, so we're going to be emotionally driven to chat and talk to people and have conversations or to explore things, or we might be very inquisitive about people and things. And we might be, like I said, really chatty with people, wanting to like chat and have conversations. And we might be feeling like we want to share and talk and learn things or share information and stuff like that as well. So that's nice. One nice thing at least. All right, so let's go forward a day. So then the moon's going to move into Cancer, and that's when we're going to have a moody 2.5 days. So the Sun and Neptune will be exact meeting in the next 24 hours. So in 24 hours. And then we'll have the moon at 0 degrees of Cancer. So that's going to be intense. The moon is going to be squaring, and then it's going to move to 0 degrees and be at most intense there. Yeah. So we do have some really tense energy coming over the next few days. So it's like just important to be really gentle with yourself and compassionate towards yourself and others, and watch out for that overthinking and monkey mind and anxiety and depression. Trying to see the more positive and optimistic things, and trying to focus on like your connection to God, the universe, your higher self, whatever it is, your spiritual connection. Trying to find ways to like ground yourself and to like, it could be through like your spiritual practices or through like yoga, meditation, through sleeping and healing and retreat, through water, as I said, things that are to do with water, and not losing yourself and self-sabotaging, and staying away from alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. Yeah, gentle and compassionate with ourselves and others, definitely. This is going to be a tough couple of some nice energy though. As I said, there are some nice aspects to it, but there is some tough emotional energy there. And then, we don't want to be deceived or be deceiving ourselves or deceiving others, and we don't want to be deceived either, and we don't want to do this deceiving, so we have to be careful of that. And being deceived by people maybe of authority, or seeing people in authority, and that could be bosses, it could be father figures or anything like that, seeing them as or the masculine, it's not, I guess, Mars, but seeing them as like spiritual gurus, or just that they're just someone so wonderful and great, and just seeing them with rose tinted glasses. You have to be careful of that, and not even ourselves, acting like we're the spiritual guru and we're so great and we know everything or whatever. We have to be careful of that too. So don't worry, I don't know everything about astrology. I only know probably 100th of astrology. I have been learning for over 10 years, but it's a long learning skill, astrology. And most astrologers and people into astrology learn their whole lives. It's something you're always learning. Even the most knowledgeable and wisest teachers will say that too. So, the next couple of days within that Cancer moon is going to be intense. And then Saturn will have some nice trines though. So there will be some nice opportunities for healing, and then some nice opportunities maybe with women or with feminine as well in some way. And I guess with all that trine energy, again, it's like some nice opportunities to spend some time at home and to nurture and care for ourselves, and to maybe like cook a nice meal, or to just relax and to be with family, and to do those things that help you to nurture and care and mother ourselves. Like, it's a good time to mother ourselves. So it could even be a time where healing something to do with the mother, or we're working through some kind of healing with the mother or something like that as well. Or us being the mother and mother energy. There's something that's like an opportunity, and it's to do with healing, and it's to do with nurturing and mothering and stuff like that. And could be to do with our feelings and our emotions and stuff like that as well. Mother ourselves. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's always important when we're talking about Cancer energies, about the mother, but it's also like our mother, but also the way we mother ourselves as well. And us being the mother too. So there's 3 aspects of it, and that's could be what the crone, whatever. I'm so bad with that, whatever it is. Yeah. The 3 archetypes, maybe. So yeah, that's a little bit intense few days we've got. But then really good for being at home and healing and or like, yeah, so it's probably a good time to like be at home and do the things where you escape and have escapism and stuff like that, but not losing ourselves. So it's like, you know, have have that time where you escape and like you go into other realms, other realities. So playing video games, it could be like watching some anime or something like that, or reading a novel or something like a book or a novel that like you get lost in or something like that. So it can be doing things like that, but like not losing ourselves in them, or getting lost and like not doing the day to day reality things because we're like trying to self soothe in unhealthy ways, or we're trying to escape from the sensitivities, as we said, of the realities of our what's going on in our worlds. Um, we can see too. So we're at the 20th. So we've gone gone to the 20th of March now. So we can see that Mercury and Chiron are building up into a conjunction as well. So Mercury will pass over the North Node. Where are we? In 3 days? Mercury will, in 2 days, about 2 days, yeah, Mercury will meet with the North Node. So that's where we could be having some conversations, some thoughts, some ideas that come through, sharing some information, learning something around ourselves, possibly, or that's towards that it will help us move towards our future, towards our destiny, towards where we're going towards. And it could be, um, yeah, it could be like us having some like really good ideas about how we can like put ourselves out there or market ourselves better, or like how we can um, improve our own like um, image in some way or something like that, or um, how we can become more independent, or work out a plan of how we're going to do things and take action in some way, or um, we also have to be careful of though of because we have that North Node and then it's building up to that Chiron. So over that next few days too, we have to be careful of the I you know I of okay so of overreacting, of being real cutthroat and like my way or the highway, and saying and speaking like that and having those thoughts, but then also and being like cutting sort of thing, like cutting in whatever way, and like cutting things off, cutting people or cutting ourselves, whatever. But also us what was I going to say? Being harsh with our communication and just saying things without thinking, or saying things that are like not very nice or nasty, or saying things that are straight to the point, which could be a good thing, being straight to the point and speaking about our needs and what we want and what we desire, sort of thing, and speaking about what we're passionate about. And that can be really healing if we're like speaking up and speaking our truth and just saying things and all that. It could be an opportunity where we don't normally get to, and we've had some things like festering and building up, or some trauma from the past or something like that, and we finally speak up about it and it helps us to heal. Don't be harsh and say things that hurt people, or straight to the point. Yeah, you can be straight to the point, but make sure it's kind. But also it's a good opportunity for people who aren't usually able to be straight to the point, to have that energy to then, be straight to the point. It's also the energy of like leadership and stepping up and like um being the leader and like the entrepreneur or whatever, and like leading a way in some way and being courageous. And it could be healing wounds around us being courageous and speaking up about our feelings and our needs and stuff like that. And we might get some good results from it or something like that. Yeah, or us talking, speaking, or having ideas about the action on what we can do and what we can around our passions and our needs and desires and what we want. There could be some healing aspects that come through, that's like some ideas or some information or something like that. Some conversations that are like super healing. But we can be triggered as well. We have to be careful of our wounds being triggered and us triggering other people. Yeah, there's a lot going on this week with the energies, to be honest. There's actually a lot. Kind of it scares me a little. And I shouldn't say that. I'm not trying to put fear ever. Like there's always a purpose and a reason for things with astrology. Like it's to help us to heal in some way, to bring things to the surface so that we can work through them and heal and learn and grow and stuff like that. Transits and the planets are moving, they're changing all the time. So we're never just stuck in the same position. We're always in a place of growth or moving forward or learning or changing in some way. Or going back over things so that we can then move forward again. So you can see that Venus is getting closer to Saturn too, where they're going to conjunct. So let's go forward another day. Look, they're getting closer. So by the end of the week, pardon me, we're going to have that Venus-Saturn conjunction. So that will be on the, whoops, I went too far, Venus. 30. Around the 21st of March. 48. Yeah, around the 21st of March into the 22nd. Venus, and so they'll be building up, a day or two before, a couple of days before or after. So Saturn and they're coming together in Pisces too. So Saturn and Venus coming together. So Venus is our values. It's what we love, what we find pleasure in. It's what we find beauty in, what we see as beautiful. It's our love language and stuff like that. And Saturn coming together and represents relationships as well. And so Saturn and Venus coming together is us making some kind of commitment, us getting serious, us showing up, us having to show up, us having to take some kind of responsibility, or there's some responsibilities there around like love, around our values, around our money, around our finances, Saturn and Venus, like where we have to take responsibility, show up, get more serious around our finances, around love, around money, around our values, around what we value, around things to do with beauty and art, and to do with things that are, we're talking about Pisces too, so things that are spiritually in alignment with those things, and that are also that are very creative. So there could be things to do with creativity there. So getting serious about like our creative projects, our spiritual projects, or whatever, stuff like that. And then also some people could get married maybe too, because it's in the sign of Pisces, like a good marriage energy with those two as well. They're making a commitment, and it's about love, and it's getting serious, and it's in the sign of Pisces, which is like represents religion and stuff like that too. And what was I going to say again? About Pisces. Oh yeah. Getting serious and making some commitments around our dreams and our fantasies, around what can be real and we can bring into reality, what we could possibly manifest and like make real or build and work towards, because it's also a building energy. Saturn's like what we're going to commit to and build over the next, like, Saturn's always like a long-term cycle for a long time. Yeah. Sometimes life is scary, and I'm kind of surprised we are living through all dangers. Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? Must be good energy protecting us. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, there are some bad energies out there, of course, but there's also a lot of good ones that are protecting us and looking over us and helping us and guiding us and whatever else as well. So we just have to ask for help sometimes, whether that's God, the universe, your higher self, your angels, your guides, whoever it is. But sometimes we just have to ask for help. Yeah. And then they can help us. I think that's what Dolores Cannon says. Okay, so So yeah, that's like I actually really like the Saturn and Venus coming together in Pisces, because that will be in my 6th house, which is my work and my daily routine and my health and stuff like that. So I like that I'll be making some kind of nice commitment that is pleasurable, or that is to do with money or finances, or something in some way to do with my work possibly, or whatever. So we are talking about Pisces energy too. So I guess that could be like, people have to be careful of, so with Venus and Pisces, I guess, so be careful of like not wasting your money and spending your money on things that are not practical, that are just like for pleasure or for beauty or for fantasy or for whatever, and focus on not lose ourselves in those things, because with Saturn and Venus coming together, it's where we can feel the responsibility and the burden of money and finances, and we can feel restricted and feel like, and with Pisces it can be loss, so a loss of like money and stuff like that. So, and Venus, so I don't know, so it'd be interesting what happens with crypto, and probably the stock market and stuff like that, but with crypto, with Venus and Saturn coming together in Pisces, would be very interesting. Do you have such story when people were walking in line and someone suddenly stopped walking and all the people bumped into each other? Like a domino. No, why do you? Evil sea baby? Interesting thing to say. There's some very interesting people on the internet, that's for sure. Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting conjunction. So around the 21st, 22nd of March. Let's see what happens with crypto, hey? Stock market and just the financial system in general, and yeah, interesting. So that moon will be moving into Leo then for a couple of days, and then, you know, with the moon in Leo, we'll feel more like fun and playful and more creative, and, you know, our heart, emotions and our heart is on us. We'll be wearing it on our sleeve, that sort of thing. So it's like we could find that we're speaking up about how we're feeling, and we're being like, we're wanting to express how we feel, and we could be being like dramatic about how we feel, or our emotions could be over dramatized or whatever, when the moon's in Leo. So, but it can be really passionate acts of love and passion and stuff like that. So it can be really good, and it can be like really romantic and really fun and playful and stuff like that too, about our feelings and stuff and our emotions. And we could be tapping into that creative energy as well, and that loving energy, and that could be really nice with that moon in Leo. Thanks, Evil C. I'm good, thanks. How are you? So that moon will oppose Mars too. So other people will, so this is like 21st, 22nd, now we're moving into 22nd. So this will be in the 22nd, 23rd, the next day after, no, 22nd, yeah. So moving into that 22nd, we'll start to feel that opposition of Mars. So other people may have different opinions to us, different perspectives. We may be feeling like the outer world is like against us in some way, or other people are, like we're having fights or arguments or disagreements, or we're not seeing the same points of view as people, but it's an opportunity for us to try and see another point of view, if we can see the bigger picture, and like that, and not get stuck in the especially as that moon moves into Virgo, on the minor details and the little details and the overthinking, the worrying and the anxiety and the stress and feeling like we've got to get everything done and feeling like we've got to get through all the lists and all the things and feeling like um, we need to help everybody and fix everything. And there's so much to fix and to do. So we have to be careful of that energy, especially in that opposition of Mars around that 22nd and 23rd. Yeah, 22nd around then too. Can you also predict for the zodiac signs? Yes, definitely. Yep. I mean, it's more accurate when we have your time of birth, date of birth, time of birth, and location. We can bring up your birth chart and then we can look at specifics and we can predict a lot. So sign of Capricorn is December into January. So from like the 21st of December into like the a little bit earlier in January, or around the 20th, 21st. I can't remember what it is exactly in January, in between those. So over Christmas period and into the new year. That is on Thanksgiving, I think it is in America. I said that, but Thanksgiving, we don't have it here. That is Capricorn. Yeah. So if you are a Capricorn, and that's probably just your sun sign, that's when you're born. So this is, this is just like surface level. This is not even deep because we don't have your birth chart up and that. But the last 15 years, Capricorn placements have had it really tough. And you're going to be feeling very intense. And a lot of family stuff could be coming up and who you're surrounding yourself around and all that at the moment. And you have a lot of heavy energy still going on. And it's until this Pluto moves back out of Capricorn for good. It's in Aquarius now, but it's going to dip back in to Pluto. In I wanted to say September or November. I get confused whether it's September or November. Hang on. September. So in September, Pluto is going to dip back into Capricorn. Things are going to go through a lot of transformation and change again, and you're going to have a lot of healing happen. There could be a lot of death and rebirth. So it doesn't mean death literally, it just means like change. So it's like things ending and new things coming, rebirthing from things. But also there's a lot to do with like control and power and control and trust issues, and can be around like trauma and to do with like sex and intimacy and stuff like that. There's a lot about control and power though too, coming up. And that's then, it might be about November, is it? Let me just go forward again. November, that will ease off and it'll be finished and you'll be transformed. You'll be a new person. You'll be changed. You'll be in your power. You'll feel more powerful. You'll feel more like you can prosper and have more abundance. You'll feel like you're in control and that you're rebirthed, and so there's like a new energy about, and you're excited about the bigger picture and the future and what's to come. What month will this? Yes. Yep. So yeah, that's what's in store for Capricorns. So there's still a lot more. The 15 years has been really hard, the last 15 years, but there's a lot more. You have a little bit of a break now, not right now, but a little bit of a break coming where it'll feel a bit more easy for a little bit, but then you'll go through that right before it retrogrades. You'll start to go back over old things and old issues to finalize them, to finally be done and healed of them and be able to move forward and work past them basically. And it can be around like relationships and family and stuff like that, and things that are to do with like you being able to build something and have something stable and have practical things that are helping you to like work and build towards something. And it could be your work or it could be family, whatever it is, but whatever you're trying to build and work towards, to create something that's like has a structure and it's for the long term, and it like you're committed to it, like you're going to work hard towards, sort of thing. Really happens. Yeah. So yeah, you have a little bit more struggle with Capricorn energy for a bit, but afterwards it's going to be like a whole new you, and your whole life transformed and changed, and you're going to be like, how, you won't even remember, not really remember the past, but just be like, you'll just be on a new trajectory, basically. It's crazy. So
Too short for a stormtrooper. Huh?
Thanks for the follow, Evil Sea Baby. Yeah, so I have a best friend who's a Capricorn, and yeah, I've looked at her chart many times. She's heavy Capricorn. Her rising sign's Capricorn. She's got probably Mercury in Capricorn. I can't remember now, but she's got quite a few. Her Mercury's in Aquarius, actually. But there's a lot of Capricorn energy for her, and I have the things I've predicted for her and seen in her coming in her chart and have happened, and it's like crazy. So I can't wait to see what comes for her now after this. Like, it's gonna be hard for her, but it's like so exciting as well. Pluto destroys things, but it's so that we can it's the phoenix rising, so it's like the phoenix goes down into the underground or whatever, and it has a death, and it comes out, rebirth, renew, and rises. So the phoenix rising sort of thing, that sort of concept. It's quite cool. It's like shedding layers of yourself and getting rid of like toxic people and energy in your life. Okay, so that aren't supportive and that don't help you to have strong structures in place. Yeah, so let me go back to today. Go back to, well, not today, but this week. Is that oh, I've gone way too far. Whoa. March. Here we go. So we're at the 22nd of, around the 22nd of March. We're talking about. So we're talking about. Oh, Mars is down there at 29 degrees too. So, well, yeah, that moon opposition with Mars is going to be very intense. So there could be some intense, yeah, around all those things I said about wanting to fix everything, get everything done, outer world expectations, feeling like you got the outer world on your shoulders, like you got to get everything done and help everyone and fix everything. And yeah, there's going to be that big energy. So this is a very intense week, actually, coming up this week. We've got a lot going on. So again, it's always about Pisces energy, being compassionate with yourself and others, tapping into like your connection with God, universe, your spiritual practices, your angels, your guides, your higher self, whatever it is, where you go to retreat and rest and being gentle with yourself. And then that Cancer energy, which is very prominent, about nurturing ourselves and mothering ourselves and having some time to like be at home or be with the family and do things that nurture and care for ourselves. So if we move the chart another day, then that moon moves into Libra, and we're at the 22nd, which is the Friday. So we're building towards that eclipse on the 25th, which is a Monday for me, Sunday for other people in the world, other side of the world. So we're building towards that eclipse. Oh wait, so if it's Monday for me, yeah, then it is going to be possibly Sunday for the other side of the world. So it is the end of this week then, essentially. Not this week, next week. Focus on next week. I forget, like, for only a Saturday. So yeah, that eclipse energy will be building up. So we can see that 22nd too. We've got Chiron and Venus coming together. If I just go back a day, we've got Venus and Chiron there at 20 degrees. So Venus and Chiron is going to bring up our wounds around okay, this is going to more intensity. So this is we have so much intense planetary alignments over this next week building up to this eclipse that aren't even related to the eclipse. But Venus and Mars are related because they're the rulers of Aries and Libra, where the eclipses are happening, where the nodes are over this 18-month period. So Venus and Chiron coming together is going to bring a lot of wounds up around relationships and money and finances and values and stuff like that, and possessions and all that. So the relationship wounds coming up, but it's also going to bring up wounds around us, like especially if we're not in a relationship and we're alone and we don't have a partner or that significant other or whatever. It's going to bring up big wounds around that. But it can be really healing for us to feel like we can, still value, we can find the courage to like value ourselves and our own time and energy and space, and become more confident in ourselves and know that, and become more confident and assured of what we want and what we desire and what we really need and all that too. We're in that alone energy as well. Sometimes when we're with a partner, we can get, because it's like Libra energy, we can get lost and become lost in the other person or in their life, or become like them and lose ourselves in a sense, or we sacrifice and we people please and we do what we think is best for the other person or for the relationship, and don't always do what is best for us, or what is we can people please, or we can sit on the fence with things, and we can just trying to find peace and harmony and balance and not upset things. And we don't speak up about how we're feeling, the truth and stuff like that, because we don't want to hurt or be harsh or stuff like that, which is that Aries energy we're dealing with. So those sorts of things can come up, those wounds, the trauma around being alone and being an individual, and around having to feel like have to do everything yourself, or that you're alone when it comes to or it can be too, like we have to be careful of like being risky with our money and finances and our possessions, or being risky in love and stuff like that, and like taking risks and not taking calculated action, and being like reactive and stuff like that, and being harsh and cutting, don't want to cut things or cut people off unless it's causing so much trauma, and the only way to heal is to cut off and be alone and be by yourself and work on healing yourself alone, and work on becoming an individual again and finding yourself. So it's very much about energy, about finding ourselves again and connecting in with our true selves, our being authentic. So healing things around like authenticity, us being able to stand in our truth and be our authentic selves, whether it's like we think we're weird, or that we've got all these trauma or these wounds, and it can be around our identity and our appearance and what we look like. Those sorts of things too can come up, especially with Aries, like our identity, who we are, what we look like, our appearance, and the wounds around like whether we feel like we're beautiful enough, because we're talking about Venus, or that we think we're beautiful enough, other people think we're beautiful enough, or that we're creative enough, or that we're lovable enough. All those sorts of things can come up. Oh, that's a lot with the Venus and Chiron coming together in Aries. Yeah, that is actually a lot. This is really big energy building up to this eclipse, hey, over this next week. Like I said, I don't ever mean to be negative, but I'm just going to say it how it is, and say how I see the astrology, and not be fluffy and just say everything's wonderful and great, and but I will give you the ways that we can work through it, and and the good things about it, and like which is like it's, so these things can be perceived as good or bad, because it can be like helping us to heal and work through things, and to step up and speak our truth about what we desire and what we need and what we're passionate about and what we want, as opposed to being the people pleaser and being stuck in that energy of Libra, where we're just keeping the peace and harmony and not actually doing what we desire and what we want, and going after what we desire and what we want and stuff like that too. So it can be really good because we're finally able to work through those wounds of, you know, feeling like we have to do everything alone and we're always going to be alone or independent, and that we always have to be the leader and lead the way and take action and do all the stuff. We can heal stuff around that and see that, you know, we don't have to do all that alone and be alone, and there are other people and stuff like that, and they're we can find that love, and we can be loved and stuff like that if we're courageous and we're confident, and it's helping us to heal our confidence around ourselves too and our image and stuff like that as well. So actually good for all of that, you know, helping us to heal all that. I'm just going to move. So we've got that sun. Oh, hang on. Where are we at? 21st. Oh, yeah. So 21st. Oh, shit. I'm friggin' in April. Wow. Okay. So I went all the way to April. Jesus. So in a month, that's not this week. Holy shit. That's in a month, the Chiron and Venus conjunction. So we're building up to that in a month. So when we're going to have, wow, but that's a lot to build up to over the next month with the eclipses and that as well. Let me go back. Gosh, where we are today, 21st. Yeah, that's right. We're back at the 21st. Let me go back to days. Whoops. That's happening, building up over the next month. So that's a lot. That Chiron wounds and all that stuff with Aries. Yeah. And then the eclipse is happening in between. So all that stuff is going to be triggered, especially because Chiron's going to be with the North Node. So we've got that sun. So if we go back to the 21st, 20th, maybe. So 20th or 21st, depending where you are in the world, I guess. We've got the sun ingressing or moving into Aries, so out of Pisces, out of that conjunction with Neptune. So that sun in Aries sun's our vitality, it's our energy, it's where we can find happiness and joy. It's you know, where it's lighting, illuminating an area of our life or an area in the chart or in the sky. And that energy is Aries. And it's all about us being confident and being courageous and being like independent and being the leader and stepping up and taking action and speaking our truth and being passionate and going after what we need and what we desire and what we want, but also being careful not to be cutthroat and just doing things my way or the highway, especially if it's the Aries energy, and us being like harsh and like fighting and wanting to like, it's really good for being passionate and having passionate energy and like having that fiery energy to like drive you into like you know, your passions and your creativities and what's making you happy and lighting you up and bringing you joy. But we have to be careful not to be too egotistic and be like, yeah, it's my way or the highway, or I don't need anybody, I can do everything alone, and I want to fight everyone and I want to start wars and start fights and yeah, so that sun ingressing into Aries, we spoke about that. So that is good for Aries people too, the sun being in your sign. You're going to have your solar return, so when the sun returns to the same spot as when you were born, to the exact degree and minute, that sets up your chart for the whole year, your solar return chart. And it you can read that chart and you can basically see what's going to unfold throughout your year. That's a solar return chart, one of the many charts that we can draw or pull up as astrologers and get information from. Okay, so I'm going to move forward a day, so that sun ingresses, and then we're moving towards that eclipse. So that moon would be in Virgo. That's where we last left off, causing that opposition between the sun, the moon, and Mars. Here and here. That's the 22nd. That's where we were, and then the 23rd. We've got that sun at 3 degrees. We've got we would have had that Saturn Venus conjunction, so the commitment, the responsibility, the getting serious, showing up, having to put a lot of effort in, us feeling restricted in some way, and Pisces can be like losses too, and it can be like us losing ourselves or losing something, or us getting deceived or tricked or not seeing things clearly with rose-colored tinted glasses. It could be real spiritual, or you have to be careful, like drugs and alcohol, overindulging with Venus there. And Saturn, it's like getting serious about that sort of thing. And then what was I going to say? Venus. Something about Venus. Anyway, they're going to move on from that energy. I spoke about it before. So that's happening like just before the eclipse, like 2 days, 3 days before. Then Venus moves away. Mars then moves into Pisces the 23rd. So much is happening. When planets are changing signs, it's a big deal. So Mars is then taking on the energy of Pisces. So Mars being our drive, our direction, what we're going towards, what we're passionate about, our masculine energy. That is working through the energy of Pisces, which is about can be about religion, can be about spiritual things, can be about spiritual practices, can be about God, can be about our connection with God, the universe, our higher selves, like our subconscious or higher consciousness, or our higher selves, or our connection with God, the universe, our angels, that sort of thing. It's like other realms, other realities. It's like, we could be really more driven and passionate about, escapism. So we have to be careful of that, wanting to like overdo it with escape. We're so passionate and excited or whatever and driven about escapism, and like overdoing it, and like, drinking and alcohol and drugs and video games and things that are like to do with like fantasy and escaping, and like not in this reality. So things that are like to other realms. So and that are fantasy like, and that are that we sit, we have to be careful of like taking risks and taking action and not seeing things clearly because it's foggy. Pisces represents fog, so it's like taking action that's like not practical, that's like we can be feeling really sensitive about things, and like easily like fired up and passionate, like of our sensitivity. So it's like easily triggered in a sense. Yeah. But it can help us to get driven and move towards, or like take action towards, or get really passionate about like spiritual practices and towards healing and towards like our sleep and retreat and stuff like that. So we could feel like we are more driven and passionate about sleeping and retreating and getting away from everyone and everything, and like having more retreat time and healing time. And I guess we have to be careful again of like hospitals and institutions and places like that, because that Mars is like losing itself in some way. Hi Senpai, how are you? Just checking in how you are doing. Well, I'm good, thank you. I hope you're well. What time is it for you? Yeah, so, but again, that Mars in Pisces energy could be really passionate and romantic and really good for like creativity and like passion projects and stuff and creativity and like things that are otherworldly and like are really creative and like are really like imaginative and stuff and taking action on our dreams as well with Mars and Pisces, being able to like take action on our dreams or on like what we see, visualize and can see in our like future or whatever, or what we've been visualizing and dreaming about. We can like take action on those things, and we can have a lot of like luck and flow. And when Mars is in Pisces, we want to go with the flow more, be more fluid, be more connected to ourselves and our bodies through like meditation and through yoga and through those spiritual practice things that help us to like connect in more to ourselves and to calm us down more and to like find more peace and balance and harmony within ourselves. That's like essential, especially with Mars in Pisces. But again, really good for like our passion projects and for like romance and passion and things that are beautiful and creative and artistic and that are really otherworldly and imaginative and creative and like, you know, feel like they're from other realms or downloaded in some way. Yeah, so that's really nice actually. Like Mars, there's good things and bad things about every sign and everything, but yeah, there's some really nice things there about Mars and Pisces. And Mars will eventually meet with Saturn, which is not as good, like two malefic energies coming together in the sign of Pisces. I'm not sure, how that's going to play out. That's not going to be over this next week, so we won't talk about that yet. But Mars and Saturn both being malefics, that's another energy that we're building towards over the next week. So there's a lot going on over this week and then over the next month. A lot of intense energies and, Mars being, like I said, our passion, our direction, our drive, what we're going after, what we're driven towards, what we're excited about, what we're roused up about, basically. And Saturn being another, and it's like a malefic energy. It's like, I'll do whatever I want to get what I want. It's my way or the highway, I'll cut whoever off, whatever I need to get out of the way so that, I can get what I want. So that's what we have to be careful of. And with Saturn and those two coming together, it's like, two malefic energies, and it's like in that Pisces, and it's like us, us taking some practical action that is, it could be really good actually for us, like committing to our dreams and taking action towards our dreams and towards our like inspirations and to what we're like passionate about and getting serious and committing to it, and committing to like, yeah, those things. So that could be really good, actually, really good energy for that. But it can feel like a lot of hard work and you've got to take a lot of effort and you've got to put a lot of effort in and you've got to show up and you've got to, it can feel a bit burdensome too in some way. That's all. Like the big responsibility, it's for the long term, it's for the, or whatever. But also that Mars and Saturn, it's like, we have to be careful of like, again, of the, depression and the mental health stuff. Like that's a big thing with those two coming together as well. Yeah. So that's later on, but let's. So the sun, we're looking for the sun and moon to be in opposition. So when the sun and moon are opposition, they're going to create that full moon because the sun is illuminating the moon, shining on it, creating that fullness. So the moon's up there at 13 degrees of Virgo. The sun's down here at 3 degrees of Aries on the 23rd of March. We want to go forward another day. So we want to get that moon into Libra, opposite sign. And, this chart isn't showing it. I must have saved it so that it's set. But I want to show the South Node as well. South Node, where are you? There you go. Anything else? that's right. All right, so we've got that south node up there in Libra at 15 degrees, north node at 15 degrees Aries. And as I said at the start of this video, or talk, or not video, it's the start of this stream, this chat, that the south node is our past, what we're moving away from. It's where we're comfortable. We've come to this lifetime knowing already. And then the north node is what we're moving towards, what we're destined, fated to go towards, to have in this lifetime, to learn, to grow into, or whatever. But it can also be a point where we do it to the point of obsession and to detriment, where it's like we'll do anything to get what we desire and want and get towards that north node. So we have to be careful of that too with the north node there. But those energies, that's where we're having the eclipses. That's what creates it. Those nodes are calculated points, energy points between the moon and the sun. And they are, when the sun and moon are hitting within a certain amount of degrees of the nodes, then they are considered an eclipse. So some astrologers will say 30 degrees, some will say it just has to be in the same sign, some will say it's like a 10 degrees range. I think a 10 degrees range is really good to work with. And that's whether it becomes a partial eclipse, a partial solar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse, whatever it is, or a full, not called full, but I can't even think of the word right now, a total eclipse. So we want to, so that moon will be in Virgo. We're still building towards that eclipse energy. It's on the 24th. Anything else major going on? That moon in Virgo, so it's just going to be a lot of like anxiety building up and us feeling like we've got a lot to do. There's so many things we need to get done. There's so many things we need to fix. Feeling anxious and feeling overwhelmed and feeling like there's just that monkey mind, or feeling like there's a lot of work to get done. Feeling feeling like stuck because of procrastinating because of like perfectionism and stuff like that. Yeah, those sorts of things. So a day later we get to the 25th, so that moon is eclipsing now, that eclipsing energy. So if we go back a couple of hours, 6 degrees, we need to get to 5 degrees. The sun's at 5 degrees and 27 minutes. We've got the sun at 5:08, so we want to go back a bit. 5, move the moon back to 7 degrees. Where are we? Moving the moon back to, whoops, I went back too far. 5, 6, 5, 7. Okay, yep. So okay, my mouth gets so dry talking. I guess I'm just like, I have Mercury in Gemini, so that's what you're going to get from me. It's its home sign, and it loves to chat and talk. And Mercury is a sign of communication. So, all right. So, we have, and we're having a moon in Mercury. I mean, a moon in Gemini. Remember? So, at the moment. Yep, so the moon and sun completely opposite there. They're at 5 degrees and 7 minutes. So moon down here in Libra, and we've got sun up there in Aries. So you can see they're like in a 10 degree, which is really nice range for the eclipse. So it's I would consider, so it is an eclipse regardless, like it's an eclipse. This first one is a lunar eclipse, and then we'll have a solar eclipse at the next one 2 weeks later. So at the 25th, the lunar eclipse is in Libra. So it's a releasing, a letting go. It's all about us, letting go, moving away from the past, away from things that are where we've just been people pleasing and we've been sitting on the fence, where we've become too entwined in someone else or other people's lives or something like that. And we need to release and let go, where we've lost ourselves in others or in relationships or whatever, where we've become the people pleaser, where we've not speaking up and speaking our truth. We need to release and let go of all those sorts of things. What else with Libra? Yeah, so like letting go of also yeah, I would say also letting go of judgment. So like where we're judging ourselves and judging others, because we can be really like judgmental with Libra energy. So it's like, because they're always trying to find the balance and the harmony and the peace and the balance, and it's like being so judgmental, trying to find that balance. And it can be also can be the scales, like seeing different sides of things. That's why they can get stuck and be sitting on the fence, because Libra energy, it's like we see the good and the bad, or we can see the cons and the pros, and you get stuck because you can see that there's a balance between both and you can't see which one's better than the other or whatever else. Hi, Mai, how are you? Oh no, this is on the spot now. This is hard. Okay. I don't know what. Guten Tag? Weigets. See, I have bad accent. Aussie accent is not good with trying to learn German. Weigets? I can just say, du bist schon. Yeah? Du bist schon? Du bist schon. But yeah, my accent's terrible. My Aussie accent with trying to speak German. I don't know what else I'm going to say. Yeah. Oh gosh. Thank you. A donkey. A denke. Oh gosh, so funny. Yeah, I don't know whether I've been like looking up and trying to research whether I should pay for the paid version of the Duolingo app, or I should use a different one, because I've like trying to see if like there's a better app I should be using. And I have read some reviews where people say like there's some other either websites or programs or whatever that are better for like accents. So you're actually not just learning from an AI generated accent, but from a proper German speaking person. So it's like you can get the tones and words and stuff and the sounds and all that like better. So yeah, I need to do a bit more research into that. I've like done a couple of times research, and I've taken a whole bunch of screenshots. So if I've done it when I'm tired at night, I'm like laying in bed, so I need to go back and look. But yeah, I'm doing okay at it. But that's the other thing too, is like having conversations with people is like gonna help you enhance your like speaking ability so much more, opposed to just repeating things and learning things, So yeah, how are you anyway? That's enough about my. Oh wait, did I say that? Yeah, I said wie geht's. Yeah, it doesn't explain so Duolingo doesn't explain the grammar well, but we can always schedule VC and I can tell you pronunciation, or I can just send voice messages. That's what I do with a friend from UK. Oh, that'd be amazing. Thank you so much. That'd be so cool and so fun. Oh, that'd be so good. Thank you. That would be great. Should definitely do that. Let me get like a little more practice in, some more words and some more like, because I'm only just like starting to like do more like sentences and stuff now. And when I have to type them out and I get a bit stuck, I'm like, oh, I have to think about all these things now. But I'm doing pretty decent anyway. So yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've looked at your chart before, haven't I? While you're here, do you want me to look at anything for you with these eclipses coming up in your chart? Otherwise, if you're just here to say hi and chat, that's fine. Is there anyone else that wants me to have a look at the eclipses and where they'll be happening in your chart and if it's hitting on anything? So yeah, that first eclipse we'll have in Libra, and that's the letting go one, as I said, about all those things. And then we're releasing and letting go, making space so that when we have the North Node solar eclipse in 2 weeks' time after the 25th, so that would be the 8th, I think it is, of April, then we're going to have made space for the destined energy to come in. So it can be, it may not be like on that exact day that is going to manifest over the next 6 months, that destined energy coming in, that fated energy of whatever it is, depending on what area of your life. And if it's hitting on anything in your chart as well. Oh, I have. Yeah. Okay. I don't have any charts saved on this computer at the moment because it was playing up for me. So, can you whisper me your, if it's easiest, whisper, or Discord, whatever's best for you, your details again, if you can remember them? Date of birth, time of birth, and time and location, and then I can bring it up, but I'll hide it. I'll hide the details. Yeah, and then I can bring it up and have a look for you. Yeah, so eclipses are fated. It's fate train time. That's what, there's a few astrologers I've heard say it, but my teacher is one of them that says it. It's fate train time when eclipses are here, especially if they're hitting anything in your chart or any of your charts. It could be your solar return chart, like we discussed before. It could be your birth chart. It could be your progress chart. There's something hitting particularly in there, and that's triggered. Then yeah, there's going to be something manifesting for you with these eclipses. And it's always to evolve us. That's what they're here to do, to evolve us, to help us to move away from, to learn and learn from the past and heal and grow and move forward towards the future and towards our potential, sort of thing. So, yeah. Yeah, the North Node eclipse, solar eclipse 2, will be in Aries, but with conjunct Chiron too. Oh no, it won't. Oh yeah, it will be. We conjunct Chiron because 2 weeks later it will be about around 20 degrees. So it will be conjunct Chiron. And that's where we spoke about last week. In last week's chat, we spoke about that 20-degree point and how prominent it is, and that there's a lot of things hitting around 20 degrees in this next few months. So if you have any placements in any sign basically around 20 degrees, it's going to be hit in some way. If it's a mutable sign, so if it's a well, it's going to depend when we're talking about what energy and what it's hitting. But for example, if it's a mutable sign, so if you have Pisces, if you have Sagittarius, if you have Virgo energy, then you're going to be feeling, especially around 20 degrees, you're going to be feeling this very intensely, in good ways and bad ways, because there's a trine and there's a square for you. So yeah, it can feel very yeah, this would be like, it could be a lot of ups and downs, especially when we're talking about like the outer planets, and we're talking about evolution and Uranus energy too. That's going to be, can be a lot of ups and downs over the next month with that, all those different 20-degree point energies hitting. Because we just had that, we must have just had that full moon at 20 degrees too. We must have been talking about. So new moon, full moon, new moon. Pisces, so it would have been new moon. So and we're building towards that full moon, the sun and moon in opposition in 8 days. So yeah, so that is the 20 degrees is very prominent. So next month we're going to have up here Uranus and Jupiter conjunct, and that is going to be some exciting, unexpected things that can shake and stir things up, that can be fortunate, unfortunate. It could be both. There's going to be a lot of things stirred up with our finances, our money, financial system, with our self-worth and confidence, and we're going to have to step into evolving our skills and our abilities, and there'll be opportunities for that, and growing like our skills and our confidence and our abilities and stuff like that. Okay, I already know what that means. Oh dear. All right, we'll leave it at that. There's a lot to digest in what we spoke about tonight. Gosh, there's a lot coming. So yeah, very intense week. I'll be on tomorrow again sometime. Join Discord if you're not already in it, and you'll know when. More accurately in there, I guess. Should update more in there too. Sorry. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's intense energy over the next week and over the next month. Again, be gentle and kind with yourself and others, compassionate. Take time out to rest and recuperate and heal, and make sure you're grounded and you have a good connection with your intuition, your higher self, your guides, your angels and all that, God, universe, whatever it is, so that you don't get deceived or tricked or betrayed, or like not see things clearly or whatever else. So yeah, take care. If I don't see you tomorrow, then have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Otherwise, have a good night, have a good day wherever you are, and thank you for being here. Thanks for chatting. Thanks 585 for letting me look at your chart. Thanks Fox Osiris for being here. Appreciate your energy. And Elvis, Evil C that was here earlier, Sunny Vita, and Senpai, you popped in too. Appreciate everyone that came and said hi and hung out. And yeah, have a great week and take care. And if I'm at OBS, I'll talk to you soon.